the General Motors Hour. General Motors Holdens, through the Macquarie network and cooperating stations in all states, present Tanker Trap, starring John Million. And here to introduce our play is John Dease.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In war, the men who sail the tankers are said to sit on the fires of hell. In peace, there are risks too. For oil, shipped from the hottest countries of the world, will go up if the spark is there to make the fire. Chief Officer Derry of the Vogue Oil tanker Paulette V always kept this in mind when he was in charge of loading operations in the Persian Gulf. But a man's luck can run out. And when Derry found this out, life took a somersault for him. And suspicion and mystery stepped in to dog his footsteps and threaten his career. Such is the theme of Tanker Trap, an exciting drama of suspense. As Chief Officer Derry, you will hear our star John Million, supported by Derek Barnes, Louis Fiander, Edward Smith, Ron Whelan, John Tate, Stuart Ginn, Al Thomas, and Patty Crocker. The play will be produced by Harry Harper. Ladies and gentlemen, Act 1 of the General Motors Hour production, Tanker Trap.
Hello? Port Authority. This is Pilgrim, Gulf agent for Vogue Oil Petroleum. Controller? I want to divert a Vogue Oil tanker to Jetty 17. No, I am afraid number 11 is not yet available. The Paulette V is still taking oil. Yes, I know she should be away, but she lost 6 days in Cape Town with generator trouble on the way out, and the whole schedule has gone to pieces. Yes, she's nearly loaded, and I hope we can have her away tonight. Yes, very well. Perhaps I can get the new boat to stand off for a while. I'm expecting the Paulette V's captain in my office at any minute. Someone at the door now, probably the captain. I'll ring you back when I've had a talk with him. Good day, Captain. Oh.
Mr. Pilgrim, sir.
That's right. Who are you?
Navigating apprentice David Marsh. Captain's compliments, sir, but he asked to be excused. What with being behind schedule, there's a bit of a rush on.
I see. Well, is the Paulette V able to get away tonight?
I have a signal from the captain here.
Thank you. Yes, splendid. Yes, that will be splendid. Your first trip out to the Gulf?
Yes, sir. My first time out of England, as a matter of fact. It's very exciting. The weather's a bit sticky here, though.
The understatement of the century.
Yes, at least Jeff Derry will agree with that.
Jeff Derry? Since when have the navigating apprentices been calling first officers by their Christian names?
I'm sorry, sir, it slipped out. The fact is, Jeff... Well, I mean First Officer Derry and myself are friends. He's courting my sister, Linda.
I see. Well, you're excused. Here now, hand this signal to the captain when you return to the Paulette V.
Yes, sir.
And, a word of advice.
Sir?
I happen to know that your captain is a stickler for discipline, and I'd be careful that he didn't overhear such shipboard familiarity.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, sir.
Bye.
Jeff? Jeff?
Oh, Davy, you back.
Well, Jeff, you look funny. What's the matter?
Don't bother me. I've got a valve switch coming up. What the devil is it now? Number 7, port wing, tank topped. Right. Oh, stream number 7, center. There.
Never seen you looking so groggy. What's the matter?
Matter? Nothing. I'm all right, kid.
Jeff, I spoke to Nobby when I came back on board. He said you'd been drinking.
Drinking? Haven't had a drop.
Then you're sick. I can tell by your eyes.
Maybe. I'll see the doc later.
You'd better hand this over and see him now.
Just leave me alone. I'm responsible for loading this tanker, and I'll see it through. I feel kind of dizzy.
Oh, Jeff, you're not letting that rocket from Linda get you down, are you?
No, Davy, I guess I deserve that from your sister. I don't know why I proposed to her at long distance. Those 6 days we had in the Cape did it. Gave me too much opportunity for looking at engagement rings.
Just that Linda isn't the kind of girl you make plans for without her cooperation.
Yeah, that's right. Should have waited till I got home. Till I could dazzle her with a solitaire. I should have...
Jeff.
Oh, it's hot. Well, the deck seems to be spinning around.
Jeff! Nobby, come and help me. He's collapsed.
My head.
Hey, say, where am I? What happened?
Hello there. I'm Pilgrim.
What's this?
It's the company hospital. You came here from the Paulet V.
Yeah, I guess I was kicked by a mosquito with boots on.
You have had malaria before?
Picked it up in Central America 6 or 7 years back. This is the first recurrence, so. How was I?
Pretty talkative, they say. A lot of deckhand language.
Oh.
I imagine a few days' convalescence will see you through.
Yeah, but what about the Paulette V? She can't sail without a chief officer.
She already has, Mr. Derry. 2 days ago.
Gone? Now, look, Mr. Pilgrim, what am I going to do for a berth?
Now, don't get excited. There's a V-line tanker due in 3 days. I'll arrange for you to join her and take up light duties for the homeward voyage.
3 days out, you say, huh? The Paulette V lost 6 days in Cape Town, is 2 days out from the Gulf already. 3 more for the new ship. That makes 7.
At least your mental capacities are still functional.
Well, that'll make the new tanker the Michelle V.
Correct, the Michelle. Master, Captain McBeed.
Oh, no.
You're acquainted with Captain McBeed?
We shipped together before, but only once. McBeed sort of that.
Mm-hmm.
We go together like sugar and cyanide. Hey, why wasn't I put in sick bay aboard the Paulette?
Don't you think the Paulette carries enough responsibility in 14,000 tons of highly inflammable oil without having you to contend with as well?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just the same, I wish I were aboard her now.
All right, Marsh. You're off duty now. There's a pot of cocoa waiting for you below.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'd be glad to get out of this.
Yes, it has blown up a bit. Whole Paulette's starting to roll.
I wonder why we haven't been rerouted through the Suez Canal yet.
Company policy, Marsh. Whatever that means. But even the canal's got its drawbacks.
What do you mean?
Red Sea madness.
What's that?
Oh, you'll find out.
Oh, yes, I've heard some of those stories.
Look out! We're going up!
Fire! Fire!
Now, where were we with that letter, Miss Marsh?
I'll read the last sentence back to you, Mr. O'Brien. To stress that our London port facilities here at Vogoil Haven are capable at present of handling 10,000 barrels daily.
Good. New paragraph. This figure can be appreciably stepped up to increase production when our new deep-water jetty capable of handling tankers up to 60,000 tons comes into operation. Yours faithfully, etc. Right. Will you get this out as soon as you can, Miss Marsh? And if anyone wants me, I'll be over to Mr. Carrington's office.
Yes, Mr. O'Brien. Production manager's office.
Is that Miss Marsh?
Oh, yes, Mr. Carrington. Mr. O'Brien is on his way to see you.
He just came in. I want you to come along, too. Something very serious has come up.
Yes, Mr. Carrington. I'll come over at once. Is there anything you want brought over from the office?
No, nothing, Miss Marsh. In a way, this is a personal matter. I want you to hear what I have to say to Mr. O'Brien.
Miss Marsh,
think you'd better sit down. Perhaps this chair next to Mr. O'Brien?
Sit down, sir, but...
Miss Marsh, we've received a report.
Yes?
A shipping report from Lloyd's.
From Lloyd's? Has something happened to the Paulette V?
Yes.
But what about it? What is it, Mr. Carrington?
I'm afraid I'm not doing this very well. Perhaps you'd better read the report yourself.
Oh, no. You're sure there are no survivors?
That's our only authority so far, Linda. But I'm sadly afraid the chances are slender.
How did it happen?
An explosion. That's all we know. I've been in touch with our Gulf agent, but he could only tell us that the Paulette V blew up 3 days out of the Gulf.
Davy. Oh, Davy.
As far as we know, only one member of the crew is safe. Chief Officer Derry. He was taken off the ship with a fever.
Day, Mr. Pilgrim.
Oh, Derry, come in.
You did me a favor taking me off the Michelle V.
Captain McBeed requested you off.
I could have laid a bet that I wouldn't sail with McBeed on his slab-sided tub.
He tells me you deliberately set out to pick quarrels with him while his ship was loading.
That's a rotten lie. McBeed picked on me. He called me a Jonah, too, after we got the news about the Paulette V.
It doesn't matter now. As a matter of fact, I was able to oblige Captain McBeed and take you off. I wanted to see you.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, when do they due out?
Due out? Who?
Why, the insurance investigators on the Paulette job. Well, that's why I'm here, isn't it? To help with the inquiries?
Yes, I expect that is so, but not here. My orders are to have you flown to England on the first available aircraft. Arrangements are in hand now. There will be an inquiry in London.
Hello?
Mr. Carrington?
Yes? Who's that?
Chief Officer Derry of the Paulette, sir.
Ah, Derry. Just got in?
Yes, sir. I'm still at London Airport. The bus is leaving for town in 10 minutes. Do you want to see me right away?
Oh, no. The morning will do. Can you make arrangements for accommodation tonight?
Well, yes, sir. There's a residential in Kensington I always use.
Good. There'll be an extraordinary meeting of the directors of Vogoyle Haven tomorrow. It's been called for 10 o'clock.
I'll be there, sir. Anything else?
I believe you're friendly with Linda Marsh.
Yes.
It might be an idea to call on her this evening. She's most upset over the loss of her brother, and you may be able to comfort her.
Well, as a matter of fact, sir, I intended calling on her as soon as I had a shower and a clean-up. I'll see you at 10 tomorrow, Mr. Carrington.
Yes, Derry. Before you go.
Yes, sir.
I think it only fair to warn you. The meeting might be a little rough on you.
But why, sir? What has it got to do with...
Sorry, I can't discuss it now. Good night.
Why, Jeff.
Hello, Linda.
What are you doing back in England?
Well, didn't you know I'd been recalled?
No.
Linda, honey, I don't have to tell you how sorry I am about Davy.
I suppose you were brought back for the court of inquiry.
Well, the official inquiry will come later. This is just a company affair. Look, I guess you know how deeply I feel about Davy.
It's over and finished.
Yes, but
Nothing can bring him back.
Oh, go ahead, honey. You don't have to hold it back. There's no shame in shedding tears.
Oh, Jeff, I try to convince myself it doesn't matter because it's finished, but it's not as easy as that.
I know. Believe me, I know.
He was all the family I had left.
He was a good kid. He would have made a fine officer.
It's what Father wanted for him. He was lost at sea himself in the war.
Yes, I know. Davy told me. It shouldn't have happened. I should have been there with him.
And then you'd be dead, too.
Yeah, I guess so. But I let you down. I said I'd watch over.
Oh, there's nothing you could have done.
That doesn't stop this creeping feeling of guilt.
Guilt?
Yeah, I feel I deliberately sidestepped something, that I let the others walk into it.
Oh, Jeff, what did happen?
Oh, I don't know. Nobody does. That's what I'm flown home for, to help find out.
What are the chances of uncovering anything?
With the ship gone and no survivors, I don't see how they can end up with anything but theories.
Could it have been planned?
You mean sabotage?
It's an ugly word, isn't it?
Quite a possibility, although I can't see it myself. You see, there's a strict security at the Gulf Supply Port. It'd be suicide for a crew member to try anything like that unless he could get out of sailing on the ship. Well, deliberately get out of sailing, I mean. Well, if you ask me, I'd say the cause was accidental.
Road reduces risks to practically nil.
Linda, the Paulette V was a pre-war ship. She hadn't kept up with the latest developments. Well, look how she burned out that generator. We lost 6 days over that.
So you mentioned in your letter from Cape Town.
Oh, yeah, the letter. Look, I wanted to explain about that. I was at a loose end, kicking up my heels, so I had to scout around for an engagement ring. I guess if I'd had more to occupy my mind, I'd have never been so, presumptuous. But you know how I've always felt about you.
Aren't you rather getting away from the point? We were talking about the Paulette.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't a modern ship, and of course there's no accounting for the human element.
At sea or in port, do you mean?
Linda.
You were responsible for taking on the cargo, weren't you?
Yeah, until I keeled over with that bout of malaria, but let's not mix facts and emotions.
These are not just my ideas, there's talk.
What talk?
Oh, nothing, forget it.
Forget it. It was like the first bite of a steel trap. You've got to tell me what's been said.
They're saying you were fortunate to have missed being on the Paulette. And if there's any negligence proven, it's not going to look so good for you.
Who says this?
Oh, no one in particular. It's general talk of the refinery, that's all. You know how these things go.
Yeah, sure I know. Somebody throws a piece of filth and it goes on rolling and gathering more filth. Do you believe I was responsible for that ship going down? For what happened to Davy and the others? Do you believe that?
My mind is open. I'm perfectly content to let the Court of Inquiry find my answer for me.
Before we hear Act 2 of our play, here is John Dease. And now Act 2 of the General Motors Hour production, Tanker Trap.
Ah, good morning, Derry. Come in.
I hope I'm not late, Mr. Carrington.
No. The directors are settling in the boardroom now. Oh, you know Bill O'Brien, an old friend of yours, I believe.
Yes, sir. How are you, Bill?
I'm fine, Jeff. Nice to see you again.
Well, let's hurry along to the boardroom. The directors expect us to get on to this business punctually, and it's right on. Now, gentlemen, this is Chief Officer Derry of the Paulette V. As we've discussed our attitude to the loss of the Paulette V at a preliminary meeting, I feel sure it is quite clear in our minds that this is an impartial inquiry and in no way reflects on the Court of Inquiry which will follow in due course. Now, shall we proceed? Chief Officer Derry?
Well, sir, I'm afraid these meetings are a little bit out of my line. What specifically do you want to know?
Well, you might begin with a resume of the Paulette V's activities from her arrival at the Gulf port.
Yeah, well, let me see now. It was the 27th of last month when we entered the port road, stood off for 2 hours waiting for berth space. We lost 6 days with a defective generator and we're way off schedule. Then I distinctly remember operating the valve switch to put number 7 center on stream. And then the fever took over. Well, so that's my last recollection of the Paulette V.
You've given us a very clear picture, Mr. Derry. I don't know if there are any questions that need to be asked.
Mr. Carrington, the picture of events is not quite clear to me. I'd like to ask a few questions.
Oh, yes, Mr. Knorr. Mr. Derry, Mr. Knorr is an observer from outside. Go ahead, Mr. Knorr.
Derry, I believe you're a Canadian.
The company has full details of my nationality.
I'm not asking the company for those details. I'm asking you.
Mr. Knorr has not yet had full access to our files. Please answer him as fully as possible.
Very well, yes, I am a Canadian.
How long have you been with the company?
5 years.
At sea?
That's right.
On the Persian Gulf run?
Mostly, yeah.
Explain that, please.
I was 12 months on the Far Eastern schedule.
Mr. Derry, are you a communist?
Did I hear that straight?
I asked if you were a communist.
Is this a witch hunt?
Answer my question.
No, I am not a communist.
Have you ever been one?
No.
Are you in sympathy with the present trends of Eastern policy?
Look, what is this, Mr. Carrington? Do I have to answer questions like that? I don't see how details of my personal life can help in determining the fate of the Paulette V.
It is my responsibility to make a complete exploration of the incident.
You are questioning my moral integrity. Do you think I'd murder my own shipmates?
Answer my question.
I hold no strong political view whatever.
You belong to no creed?
Politically, no.
Have you ever had a bank overdraft?
No.
What, in your opinion, caused the loss of the Paulette V?
She blew up, I suppose.
Why would you suppose that?
Because there were no survivors. It must have been quick. One tank can start a chain reaction.
And the cause?
I am in no position to say, but I should think it was accidental.
Negligence?
Not necessarily. Look, there are 1,000 unknown factors. Why, she could have tangled with a drifting mine left over from the war.
Hardly likely, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it was hardly likely that the Titanic would hit an iceberg, but she did.
And what if the Paulette V was sabotaged?
Well, in that case, I guess you'll have to do your own snooping in the Gulf.
Are you aware, Derry, that an attack of fever can be simulated with the use of drugs known to Arabs?
Please, Mr. Knorr.
I will repeat that question. Are you aware that an attack of fever can be simulated with the use of drugs known to the Arabs?
No. And as far as I'm concerned, this inquisition is through. One more question like that out of you, Knorr, and I'm going to smash it back down your throat.
Come and sit down, Derry. Perhaps you'd like a drink?
No, thank you. Oh, I've heard of some inquisitions in my time, but none so humiliating as the character stripping Knorr just tried on me in there.
I appreciate how you feel. The fellow's methods are rather direct.
Just who does he think he is?
A man with a job, just like the rest of us, Jeff.
Yeah, but keen.
Yes.
I'm sorry you went through such a grilling, but I do assure you it was beyond my authority to intervene.
Oh. I get it. There's a government stake in this?
Well, oil is more than a commercial commodity. Progress has made it an economic necessity. While I agree with you that the loss of the Paulette was probably accidental, the government must be in a position to nip in the bud any act that appears in the least way treasonable.
If Knorr has such a suspicious mind, why doesn't he exercise it out in the Gulf?
I understand he already has a man out there.
Now, what are our next moves?
We must prepare our own report for the Court of Inquiry.
Meantime, I guess I'm suspended from service, huh?
We are giving you a rest from seagoing posts for a while.
That's what I said, isn't it?
It's essential that you keep in close contact with the company, Jeff. I suggest to Mr. Carrington that we find something to occupy here at Vogoil Haven.
But, Bill, I'm a seaman. I only know ships.
Well, we do have tankers calling occasionally. There are certain port duties you could undertake in a relief capacity. I think we'll send you along to the Rosa V. You'll be appointed port officer while the crew is on leave. Now, how's that?
You think you're doing me a favor? It's a shore command, isn't it?
Now, wait a minute, Derry.
Goodbye, gentlemen. Oh, hello. I keep forgetting your work here. Hey, Linda, can I see you tonight?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I have an appointment.
Well, how about Saturday, then? That's your day off, isn't it?
Yes, but I have to visit an aunt. A sort of a duty call. I can't get out of it.
Okay, then, and to save you making any excuse for Sunday, I'll be tied up. They've given me a ship.
You're going to sea again?
No, it's a shore command, the Rosa V. I've been appointed port officer while the crew are on leave.
I'm sorry, Jeff, really, but I can't rate these days.
It doesn't matter. Maybe I'll take a pack of solitaire cards with me aboard the Rosa V. Who's that? Who's there?
Beg pardon, sir.
What's the idea of creeping around the deck like that?
Creeping, sir?
Don't keep echoing me like an idiot. All right, what's your name? What are you doing aboard the Rosa at this time of night?
Gray, sir. Company fitter.
A shore man, are you?
That's right.
I thought as much. No discipline.
What do you mean?
That's what I mean over there. You've left number 4 center tank hatch loose.
I haven't touched no tank hatch.
Don't lie to me, Gray. You've just come from there.
I passed it, yes, but I never touched it. I've just been cleaning the bearings on the forward windlass.
You're a liar.
Yeah, you can't talk to me like that.
Well, all right. All right, maybe I was mistaken. Well, go and secure the hatch now.
Yes, sir.
Is that you, Jeff?
Hey, Bill, what are you doing here?
Oh, just thought you might be getting a bit lonely. I brought a drink with me. Would you care to join me?
Yeah, sure, that's just what I need. Bring it along, Bill. I've got a couple of glasses in my
Hey, take it easy with that scotch, Jeff.
Now, what am I supposed to do for amusement? Listen to that radio all by myself? What's wrong with this whiskey? You sour grapes because it isn't Irish?
Oh, now that would be carrying patriotism too far. Oh, come on now, man. Snap out of it. You're taking all this too much to heart.
I don't like this feeling of being fenced in.
There are no fences, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, well, you better tell that one to Nor. And it doesn't stop there.
What do you mean?
Linder.
Now, look, she had a hard knock over young Davy. You've got to make allowances.
Bill, I was willing to make all the allowances in the world. Until I realized that Nor's reasoning is infectious and she's caught the disease.
I don't think so.
No? Okay, then why's she been avoiding me?
Give her time, boy. And take it easy.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. I've been shot to pieces myself lately. They must think of me as some sort of gorilla on this ship. I've done nothing but blast holes in everybody. Oh, I wish this Paulette business was settled.
Well, it won't be long now.
Oh, hold on. Listen, will you turn that radio off there, Bill?
Sure.
Derry speaking. Oh, yes, Mr. Carrington. He's here with me now.
Carrington?
What's that? Not the Michelle. No, it's not true. It can't be.
What's wrong?
Yes. Yes, I'll tell him. Yes, sir. The Michelle V.
Well, what about her, Jeff? What's wrong?
Carrington says they just got a report that the Michelle V blew up last night off the coast of Africa. An SOS was picked up in Mombasa, but the ship's transmitter went off the air almost immediately. Planes and ships are searching the area.
The Michelle, too.
And you know something? I was pulled off the Michelle just before she sailed. Pilgrim said McBead told him I picked quarrels with him all the time. You see what I mean, Bill? Oh, Nor's really going to give me the 3rd degree now.
Take it easy, Jeff.
I'm okay.
I'll have to go over to see Carrington.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll see you soon, me boy.
Yes?
Linda, it's me, Jeff. Have you heard the news? The Michelle has gone down.
Yes, I know. Mr. Carrington told me a few minutes ago.
I must see you, honey. I was responsible for port security on the Michelle.
I'm sorry. I have to get down to the plant, and my train leaves in 15 minutes.
Look, I'll come in a taxi and pick you up.
No, Jeff, I'd rather you didn't.
What do you mean? Listen, I've got to talk to somebody. I've got to. Linder? Linder! Morning, Bill.
Oh, hello, Jeff. I'm sorry we had to bring you over here this morning.
What is it, another inquisition?
Carrington is bringing Nor here.
Yeah, this time Nora will probably ask where I put the bomb.
Jeff.
Look, Bill, this thing's got me worried. I just can't understand it. It doesn't add up. I mean, if it boils down to Eastern nationalism, well, where's the sense of it? Whether they love us or loathe us, the fact remains they want our custom, so why slap us in the face?
There's more than local interest at stake in the Middle East.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. It's the man behind the man behind the man all the time. Oh, brother, what a mess the world's in.
Aye, it's too much of a mess for us to untangle.
But Noor thinks he's big enough. Hey, by the way, Bill, you were 3 years in the Gulf, weren't you?
That's right.
Did you ever work with Pilgrim?
Oh, I got to know him fairly well, but he's a pretty close type.
He's not British, is he?
I believe so. What makes you ask?
I thought he had a bit of an accent. He's not English.
Now I come to think of it, one of his parents was foreign, from somewhere in the Balkans, but I think I'd trust him.
Look, I don't want to put the finger on anyone without reason. But if there is anything fishy going on out there, it must be somewhere inside that supply base.
Well, perhaps you're right, but that's Noor's department.
Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, good morning.
Derry.
Mr. Carrington?
Good morning.
Yeah.
I understand, Derry, you heard the news about the Michelle.
You know that, Noor. All right, let's not start off nicely. You're here to make a kill. Go ahead and try it.
Excuse me, Mr. Carrington.
Yes, Miss Marsh.
There's some mail for you, sir.
I'll put it over there, Miss Marsh. Oh, and you might see that we're not disturbed.
Yes, sir.
No, wait. With your permission, Mr. Carrington, I'd like someone here to take notes.
I'll arrange for a typist from the pool. Miss Marsh was personally involved in the loss of the Paulette V. She may find it hurtful to remain.
No, please.
Linda, you can't.
I'd like to help, Mr. Carrington.
Very well.
Good. Now, let's make a start. Derry, I believe you were seconded to the Michelle V as her security officer.
I was.
What precisely did those duties entail?
My main job was to see that no unauthorized person boarded the vessel.
So that there was no possibility of a bomb being brought in?
That's right.
Did you have any prior knowledge that you were not to sail in the Michelle V?
No.
But you had no idea that such might be the case?
I was prepared to sail.
You're evading my question, Mr. Derry. Be more specific.
I guess there'd be a chance that I'd be recalled after the Paulette incident.
Were you willing to bet you wouldn't sail in the Michelle V?
I'm not a betting man.
Well, did you express such an idea to Pilgrim, the Gulf agent?
Oh, figuratively speaking, I may have put it that way, yeah.
In relief, perhaps?
Oh, yes, if you like it, in relief. But not the way you want to twist it.
No. You quarreled with Captain McBee.
He quarreled with me.
Did you deliberately quarrel with him to get off his ship?
I said he quarreled with me.
Easy, Jack.
Well, I don't like his approach.
Derry, I would like you to tell me of your political affiliations.
I have none.
You belong to no sect or club in the Gulf?
No.
What about the House of the Seven Brothers?
Oh, that's a drinking club. Look, what are you trying to pin down? We've been through all this before.
Yes, we have. But this time I require the correct answers.
What do you mean?
Communism, for instance.
I have no cause to revise my previous answer on that. I am not, and I never have been, a communist.
Do you deny that you were ever a member of the North American Companions of the World Society?
Oh, this is idiotic. Why, 15 years ago, yeah, sure. But what was it, a student organization, something we got a kick out of because we were young and bursting with vitality? Oh, sure, we swore to world brotherhood and hated the big guys who had all the money that we were short of. Well, what kid doesn't go through that stage once in a lifetime, huh?
It was a communist organization recently disbanded by the Canadian government.
So what? I doubt if I even knew what the word communism meant then.
The fact is indisputable. It was a communist organization.
Hey, Mr. Carrington, what am I supposed to do? You know my record with the company is good.
I'm sorry, Derry, but this is completely out of my hands now.
I shall be flying to the Gulf tomorrow. You're to accompany me, Derry. Meanwhile, you will return to your apartment and stay there until an official car picks you up in the morning. Is that clear?
Oh, sure. And judging by your faces, the rest of it's clear. You all think I'm a communist. You all think I murdered my own shipmates.
And now, before Act 3 of our play, here again is John Dease. And now, here is the final act in the General Motors Air production, Tanker Trap.
Thank you. Jeff? Jeff, where are you? Jeff.
Oh, it's you.
Yes, Jeff.
What are you doing here? I thought I was poisoned.
Is this your answer to the problem? Swamping it with drink? Oh, I don't know why I've troubled to come. I had to beg the porter to unlock the door for me.
Oh, well, maybe it's a maternal instinct. Compassion for the underdog.
Let's not start on the wrong foot like this. I'm sorry, Jeff.
We broke steps 6 bridges ago, didn't we?
I said I was sorry.
Yeah, you've shown it in your actions, treating me like I had an infectious disease. Where are those seltzers? My head's like a balloon.
Here, I'll do it. Drink this and pull yourself together.
Yeah. You know, I can't make you out. I can't figure you at all.
It shouldn't be difficult. You can't blame me for what I thought and felt. When you get the sort of news I got about Davy, your mind stops behaving rationally for a while. It was only there in the office today, seeing what you were going through, listening to Nor, that I realized just how badly things might turn out.
Well, it's coming and you can't stop it. I made a mess of my job as security officer on the Michelle. I might just as well have placed bombs in the ships myself.
No, Jeff. I've been thinking about this. I don't pretend to be an expert on explosives, but I do know that a fully laden tanker is almost a bomb in itself.
Sure, except that they don't usually carry detonators.
Jeff, that's it. That's just what I mean. Detonators can be small, can't they? They only have to provide the spark.
Honey, they could be the size of matchboxes. But even if they were pinheads, I don't see how they could get through a security screen at the Gulf. Well, unless by a member of the crew bent on suicide.
I don't believe anything did get through security at the Gulf.
No, that doesn't make sense.
This afternoon, I looked through the sailing lists. There's a timing coincidence in the sinking of those 2 ships.
Then your arithmetic is adrift. The Paulette blew up 3 days out of the Gulf, the Michelle 9 days. I just don't see any coincidence in that.
The Paulette lost 6 days in Cape Town on the way out, didn't she? If you make allowance for that, you'll see that each ship was lost exactly 49 days after leaving the berth here at Vogoil Haven.
Hey. So if detonators were used with the same timing device, they were already on board when the ships arrived at the Gulf. Hey, you've got something there. Have you spoken to anybody about this?
No. Mr. Carrington and O'Brien went back to London with Nor soon after you left this morning.
Hey, listen, what's Bill O'Brien's private number?
Thames 3341.
Uh-huh.
Well, what are you doing?
Just a hunch, honey, just a hunch. Just something that happened on the Rose of E the other night. Oh, hello, Bill. Jeff, here, yeah. Look, can you tell me when the Rose of E is due to sail? What, tomorrow morning? Bill, can you take me down to the refinery right away? They wouldn't let me through the gates alone, but you could fix it. Well, break your appointment, Bill. I've got to get aboard the Rose of E. No, I'll explain later. Look, I'm on my way to your place now, so be ready with the car when I get there, okay? We'll get a taxi outside, I'll drop you. And Linda, whatever you do, keep this to yourself. If my hunch is correct, somebody at the refinery is for the high jump, and the less prepared he is, the better.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Just keep your fingers crossed, that's all. Come on, let's find a taxi. There's no time to lose. Okay, Linda, there's a rank over the road. We'll take a taxi from there.
Jeff, wait.
What is it? What's wrong?
That man in the shadows. He's watching us.
Oh, you're imagining
No.
things.
He's moving towards us.
Oh, I get it. One of Noah's watchdogs. Come on, before he stops us. Hurry up.
It's no use, Jeff. That man's still following us.
It's the bloodhound instinct. We'll have to lose him.
Jeff, suppose we wait for him, talk to him. A little cooperation
Listen,
might...
honey. Till I can turn speculation to proof, I don't stand a chance with Nor. Now, we'll take a taxi at the head of the rank. You go back to your place and wait there. With a bit of luck, we'll have that bloodhound squatting on your doorstep half the night.
Well, what about you?
I'll be okay. Don't worry about that. Look, the offside door is hidden, so I'll get in with you. Then bail out the other side. As soon as I'm through, tell the driver to get going. Okay, here we are. Go open the door.
Good luck, Jeff.
I'm gonna need it.
Well, Jeff, I brought you to the refinery and to the Rosa V jetty. Don't you think that now I've earned the right to know exactly what is going on inside that head of yours?
You'll know soon, Bill. Listen, be a pal and get the duty officer aboard the Rosa V to have number 4 sent a tank blown clear of fumes, will you? I'll pick up a couple of torches and some protective clothing from stores.
But what do you mean?
I mean that we are going into number 4. Now go fix it like a good fella.
All right. But if there's a worse occupation than going down into filthy oil-grimed ship tanks, I'd like to know what it is. Okay, Jeff. Will you flash your torch over here, will you? I can't see where I'm going.
Stand still. I'll have a look around.
You know, Jeff, if anyone had told me 3 hours ago that I'd be spending midnight wallowing in oil sludge 30 feet below decks, I'd have said they were crazy. Now, will you tell me what we're looking for?
I don't know.
Jeff, you mean to say that you're...
I don't know specifically. I guess we're looking for anything that shouldn't be here. I tell you what, let's divide off those bottom stringers and go over them systematically. You start from that corner, I'll start from over here. We'll see what we can find, okay? We might... Hey, now, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I've got it.
You've got what?
Over here.
Huh?
Here, look. Floating in the oil. No wonder we couldn't see it when we first came down. It's a gray plastic pouch about 3 inches in diameter. It looks just like a bubble of oil.
Well, what the devil is it?
An incendiary, Bill. Wait a bit till I get the torch under it. There's something inside.
Yes, I can see it. It's sort of an inner capsule.
I'm no chemist. But my guess is that this pouch is a pocket of inflammable gas and the tube inside holds liquid with an acid content. After a certain time lapse, 50 days if the Paulette and the Michelle are anything to go by, the liquid eats through the tube and produces a flash on contact with the gas.
So when the tank is filled at the Gulf, this floats up with the oil level?
Yeah. There's always a few inches of freeboard left in the tanks for tropical expansion.
The devil there is. Vulnerable inches of explosive gases. But man, how did it get here?
I have a shrewd idea about that, too. You know a fitter named Gray?
I can't place him at the moment, no.
I can. I bawled him out for leaving number 4 hatch loose a couple of days back.
Why didn't you report it?
Well, at the time, it didn't register anything more than carelessness. Bill, I must have disturbed him just after he tossed this thing down. Okay, where do we go from here? Carrington or Knorr?
Neither.
I'm glad you said that, Bill. I wanted to give you the casting vote, but I'd feel much more confident if we could turn up with a body that goes with this little contraption.
I think I'd better get over to the office block and get this man Gray's address.
Yeah, I'll come with you.
No need for that. You take these protective clothes back to the stores, then wait for me in the car. We'll go back to London and call on Gray.
Well, here it is, Bill. Number 23.
How do we go about it?
Oh, the straightforward approach might pay off. The doorbell. Listen, leave things to me when we get inside.
Right. You know, Jeff, it's nearly 2 o'clock. He's probably gone to bed.
There's a light inside.
That would wake the dead.
Well, let's try the door. Hey, it's open.
Isn't this going a bit too far?
Oh, come on, Bill. We can't afford to be scrupulous about... Hey, look. Behind that couch.
Gray?
Yeah, Gray.
Oh, what a mess.
Dead. There's a knife here in the carpet.
There's a gun here.
Jeff! We got company, eh? Oh, no, you don't.
Get back!
Come on, drop it. Drop that gun or I'm gonna bust up your wrist. Okay, Bill, pick up the gun.
Right. What now?
Watch him. I'm gonna call the police. I'm sure they're gonna be interested in a murder like
No,
this.
no, Jeff.
Listen, Bill. We've been playing lone wolf long enough. It's about time we got help. I won't be long.
I said no.
What are you talking... Hey, what's the idea? What do you level that gun at me for?
Come here, Jackman.
Sorry about being here. You didn't give me much time.
It doesn't matter. Now, Jeff, pick up that knife. Go on, pick it up.
Okay.
Hold it tight.
There you are. Do you think my fingerprints are on firm enough now?
That'll do fine. Now drop it back to the carpet, close to the body.
This isn't making sense to me. What's the score?
Believe me, Jeff, I'm sorry.
Save your tears, Bill. You could just have easily have killed me on the Paulette of the Michelle.
It's the organization that matters above all else. Sentiment can't be allowed to come between its orders and one's duty.
We're wasting time, ain't we?
Take the incendiary from his pocket.
Okay. Right, I got it.
Give it to me.
What's the key that makes sense to all this? Communism? Fascism?
You know, Jeff, you've got as many isms in your bonnet as Noor. The organization is working for Britain, not against her. A new Britain. What we represent is a force that is revolutionary in all meanings of the word. But people are suspicious of new orders, so they must be made to see that what we offer is right.
You think you can do that by sinking a few tankers?
Oh, we're not yet strong enough to come out into the open. But strength is comparative. The weaker the opposition, the stronger are we by comparison. We're only at the beginning of a campaign. Multiply the effect on Vogue oil 100-fold and other vital industries, and we shall have the results we need. Jackman?
Yeah?
You better take the gun. My car is outside. We'll drive to the coast.
What about Comrade Gray? Was he one of your men?
A minor cog.
And expendable.
There is no room for carelessness in the organization.
Right out to the car, mister. Any clever move from you is going to mean a hole in your head. Take it nice and easy all the way downstairs.
You know, Bill, you're nervous. That car you shook off through Lewisham was driven by a woman.
Well, it might have been a police car, and I'm taking no chances.
Keep back in your seat, Derry. My trigger finger's nervous.
This isn't going to make sense to Noor. If I'm going to be a scapegoat for sabotage, what happens when my body turns up and the Vogue oil boats still keep going down?
Your body ain't going to turn up.
I'm a man of habit.
There's a new trend in political intrigue called the Disappearing Act. Didn't you know?
Oh, so that's it. That's why we're heading for the coast. There's a boat laid on somewhere, and when I go over the side, I'll be dressed in enough concrete to keep a whale down. Meanwhile, Noor and his cronies sit around waiting for me to bob up again behind the Iron Curtain, am I right?
Ah, shut
Or
up.
maybe you're shipping me out somewhere. Otherwise, why hasn't Jackman killed me already?
You'll never know. I might. Any time.
Bill, you better ease up on the speed. You hit 70 through the main street of Bromley.
You should worry.
This car will do over 100, and I can handle it perfectly. Are you all right back there, Jackman?
Yeah. How much further to the coast?
We'll reach it inside an hour.
Yeah, if we reach it at all. This road wasn't built for speed.
Nervous? Watch the needle, Jeff. Watch it. She's creeping to the 100. There's a 3-mile straight beyond the next curve. We'll touch it along there.
Look out! There's something across the road at the end there.
A car. What a way to park.
There's someone on the road swinging a light. Hey, it's the police.
There's room to go by them on the side.
Don't be a fool. You'll never get through there.
Shut up. Keep the gun on him, Jackman. We are going through.
Keep out! Keep out! You'll leave the road if you try to break on the gravel.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay, I tell you. It's okay. I've had malaria before. I'll be all right soon. I gotta get back to the Paulette. They won't sail without me. I'm okay. It's just a fever.
Jeff, the Gulf was a long time ago.
What? Linder. Oh, now, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I remember. We were heading for the coast.
There was an accident.
Some accident. How was I on the trapeze?
I'm told it was a somersault and 2 side rolls. But the car finished up on all 4 wheels.
They say there's a wire cage down there. What's happened?
It's your ankle. It's broken in 2 places.
Oh, it's not so good. And the others?
Both alive. O'Bryston has some broken ribs. They found the incendiary, and Nora's already started work on him. He says that it's only the beginning of a very big job.
That man works fast. Say, how does he know the score?
He's been practically holding your hand for the past 24 hours. You've been most talkative.
I have?
You have. Oh, and he warns me that you have quite a seaman's vocabulary.
Yeah, well... You know what beats me is how that squad car got onto us on the coast road.
You underestimated the bloodhound, Jeff. He saw me get out of the taxi without you and followed me up to the apartment. When he asked where you were, I said I didn't know what he was talking about. So he marched me off to see Nor. An irresistible man, Mr. Nor.
Yeah, magnetic. Like the North Pole.
When I told him who you'd gone to see, he got it into his head that you were going to do something dangerous. That's why the police were alerted to stop O'Bryston's car, so they could protect him by arresting you.
Only a busted ankle stops that from being funny. Linda.
Yes, Jeff.
I just wanted to tell you that I like the solitaire engagement ring you're wearing.
Oh, that. Well, I went back to your apartment to clear up. It was in such a mess. I found this on the floor, not far from an empty whiskey bottle.
Oh, that's bad. One or the other will have to go.
Well, I threw the bottle out. You approve?
And so ends the General Motors Hour production, Tanker Trap, by Kenneth Hales, adapted by Rue Pullan, in which you heard the following players. As Davy Marsh, Louis Fiander. Gray, Ron Whelan. Jackman, John Tate. Carrington, Edward Smith. Pilgrim, Derek Barnes. Knaw, Stuart Ginn. O'Bryston, Al Thomas. Linda Marsh, Patty Crocker. And as Jeff Derry, you heard our star, John Mellion. The General Motors Hour is directed by Harry Harper, who produced tonight's play. This is John Dease saying good night to you all from the General Motors Hour.
This is the General Motors Hour signing off from the Macquarie Network and cooperating stations throughout Australia.